many people have you lost?
Directly involved with 2. Not directly involved with there's a number of others. Usually it's years and years of depression. Sometimes it's alcohol, homelessness, drug abuse, and they all work around together with these things, and they're just tired of being a burden. They're tired of the pain. They have a very narrow mindset. This is a true crisis situation for these folks. I was actually working at San Quentin for a number of years, and one of the guys I was working with was going out for the highway patrol. And I looked at him and I said, man, I don't know, those are some pretty smart guys. I don't know if I could do this. And I said, you know what, I'll try out too. Well, it happened that I made it and he didn't. So here I am. I started in 1990 and I was in the East Bay over by Oakland. But in 94, I got my transfer to the Marin area, and that's when I started working on the bridge. So we handled, at that time, there was just one officer working that whole area, the bridge for a couple of miles down, and then another maybe 3 miles up and over the bridge and over through a tunnel and down the hill. No training whatsoever. I wanted to work down there. I enjoyed it. I hadn't been there too often, just in passing. One was a gentleman that I had spoken with, and I had 2 other officers with me, and this was many years ago, that all 3 of us were attempting to talk with this gentleman. African American, nicely dressed, nice guy, not under the influence, alcohol or drugs. And he kept telling us that he needed to go. He needed to jump. His grandmother was down there. His grandmother had passed away. And he wouldn't give us his name. He wouldn't provide us information on anything, if he had done anything legally wrong or medications or what was going on with him. And finally, he did this 3 times. He shook my hand. But on the 3rd time, he turned around and shook my hand. And he said, Kevin, I want to thank you, but I need to go. And he jumped. So I learned a lot on that one. One, I will never, ever, ever have multiple negotiators, so to speak, with one individual. I think it was people throwing out too many different things. You learn a lot from that one. I do. Look, I can't tell you exactly why, well, but whether it's morbid or what, but one of the reasons is the waters below the Golden Gate Bridge are treacherous. Need a lot of waves, higher waves. The currents are really, really rough down there. So I want to make sure that I can help locate that body. I was in the impression for many, many years I didn't want the view ruined, until a gentleman came up to me just last year, and he lost his daughter on the bridge, and I was at a training deal, and he asked me, "Are you Kevin Briggs?" "Yes, sir." He asked me, he's actually on the Bridge Rail Foundation to get that net put up, and he said, "Your view," he asked me my view, and I told him, well, I think it will deter from the view. The vast majority, way vast majority of folks come up there are not suicidal. But he told me like this, and this is what swayed me. He said, well, I want you to look at it like this and make your own determination, but you have the bridge, the view, or a life. And my ignorance was swayed then. So I definitely am a firm believer in it. I lost my grandfather to suicide. I never even met him, but that's somebody I never even got to meet, a family member. So the way it affects families is just huge. If we can stop this, I don't think, we have to look at it in reality. I don't think we'll ever get down to 0 suicide, but we can certainly, each one of us, do our part in preventing some suicides. Education. Education is huge. Coming to an event like this tonight, and like I continue to learn. There's a national conferences on suicide and mental health, and I attend those, so just educate yourself. Be aware of the people around you, and you'll see things. I didn't realize some things were going on in my life with my own family until it was really brought to my attention. So You know, we think we're doing good, and I'm traveling all around, and I'm trying to do good and spread the word, when this kind of stuff is happening in my own family that I didn't see. So we all need some more education and be able to step back and really take a look at things.